Hi everyone, it's Rebecca Imholz with the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you to today's monthly luncheon. I hope that you're having a great day. It's beautiful fall weather out there, and I hope you're enjoying this day. Shane Griffin, President of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce, as we start our monthly luncheon today in October. Hard to believe it's October.
It is October 15th, which for me is a very emotional day because 32 years ago today, Kirk Gibson hit one of the greatest home runs in baseball history. And of course, if you see this right here, that's the cover of a VCR tape of that game. It was game one of the 1988 World Series. I'm a huge Dodger fan, and Kirk Gibson was one of my all-time favorite players, and he hit one of the most dramatic home runs in World Series history. So thanks for a bit of brevity there, Rebecca. But yeah, it's an exciting day because we get to revisit and relive that game here in the Griffin household. So it's always good to see you. Thank you for all that you do to help us put together all of our events, including the monthly luncheon. At this time, I'll turn it over to John Carroll to kick us off with the invocation and the pledge. Hey, John.
Hey, Shane. Thank you. Let us pray. Lord God and Father, we come before you today as a gathering of people who have opportunities to serve in and through a community where we're blessed to live and work and play and worship. Father, we would maybe normally ask for patience, but we know, Lord, that you've given us plenty of opportunities lately to practice patience. And it doesn't come in buckets, but in opportunities to practice. So, Lord, maybe instead, today we would ask you for some hope, understanding that the real and true enemy is despair, and that we can always look to you for that hope. So we ask for a little bit of hope, and Lord, that would come out in terms of just a little bit more grace and space in our dealings and service to others. Lord, we ask you to bless these proceedings, shower them with your Holy Spirit wisdom, and make them so valuable that those who are attending can come away and be a reflection of your grace and love and mercy. We ask you to bless this time and those present. We make all these prayers in your most precious name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, John. Good to see you today, sir. Appreciate your time and your service to the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. Time now for my opening remarks before we get to the rest of the agenda. First of all, I want to let you know this is our next to last virtual luncheon. We will be going in person with a number of events coming up, as well as our December luncheon. So first of all, our first in-person event is going to be happening on October 27th, which is about 12 days from right now. That will be our Before 9 coffee happening at the Spring Hill Suites, and a thanks to our Vice President, Jennifer Maxwell, for helping us set that up. We're going to be out on the pool deck and the balcony. So we're going to be outside, limited number of attendees, and masks are required. So we will be kind of wading back into the shallow end with in-person events, and we do hope that you join us for those. Again, the first one will be October 27th, the Before 9 at the Spring Hill Suites pool deck and balcony. We're also going to be in person for our after hours in November, which is happening on the 11th, which is Veterans Day. That will happen at the Hilton Garden Inn pool deck, and the same thing. We're going to have hand sanitizers, social distancing, masks are required. There will be a limited number of attendees, and we will be outside. So we do want to get back in person, but we also want to do it safely, and we also want to make sure that you as our members feel safe. So we're doing it slow and surely. We'll see how that goes. And then our goal is to have our monthly luncheon in December in person at the Omar. It gives us an opportunity to recognize our officers, our committee chairs, our committees, and also elect our new officers. So we are very excited about the opportunity to get back in person to see everybody. I know for me, being a people person, I miss you guys. I miss my board. I miss the members. It's a great opportunity to get back in person and to see each other and to fellowship and to network. So we are looking forward to that. Of course, we'll be communicating all of this with you through email. You can also visit our website, mountpleasantchamber.org, and visit the calendar of events. It's all spelled out right there. But again, these events will be limited in number. So if you'd like to be a part of those, be sure to go ahead and get registered for those. So that's first. Second, I want to reiterate again that we remain in a strong financial position. This has obviously been a very challenging year, but the decisions that the board has made, not only this year, but in years past, and also to the wonderful decisions and great work of our President Emeritus and immediate past President, Chris Dobbs, has put us in a very strong financial position. So we want to continue to communicate that to you, even though we are not meeting in person now, but again, we will be shortly, and we've had to make some changes in regards to some of the other events. We still remain on a very strong financial footing, and we are grateful to you, the members. We're grateful to our sponsors, and I'm also grateful to the board for the great decisions that they made over the course of years. I would like to recognize my board. Obviously, you know, I'm grateful to the officers. I'm also thankful for the committee chairs and all of the folks that are on the committee. So I thank both the executive officers and the committee chairs for their time, their talents, and their service. Again, save two people. We are an all volunteer organization. We do this because we love the organization. We care about you as members. We care about the business environment in Mount Pleasant. We care about Mount Pleasant. So we do this all for you, and I'm grateful to the board and the committee chairs and the committee members for their time and service. A reminder about the Coronavirus Resource Center page. We are still making updates to that page, not only about the virus itself, but also when it comes to the region, the state, the nation, and the world. Just visit mountpleasantchamber.org. You'll see the Coronavirus Resource Center page tab there at the top of the page. You can click that and be directed right over to the Coronavirus Resource Center page. You'll see links to all of our past webinars. You'll have a link to our YouTube channel where you can watch all of those past webinars. A lot of great content is there for you. So please visit mountpleasantchamber.org and just click that tab at the top of the page. I'd like to move on to thanking the sponsors. We have a number of platinum sponsors and a number of gold sponsors as well. We thank them for their support of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. Of course, the town of Mount Pleasant, a great partner. We thank them for all that they do for us. Also, I want to thank Net Galaxy Studios / Stingray Branding, as well as Tony Pope State Farm and ABC News 4. Those are our platinum sponsors. And then on the next slide, you'll see we have a slew of gold sponsors. So if you're interested in being a platinum sponsor or a gold sponsor, please reach out to us. If you'd like to upgrade your sponsorship, we can talk about possibly prorating that. So reach out to Rebecca at mountpleasantchamber.org for information about how to become a platinum sponsor or a gold sponsor. Also, too, if you have some content that you would like us to spend some time on with these virtual webinars, also reach out to Rebecca. Whatever the topic may be that you feel may be of interest to you, probably is of interest to other members. So just email Rebecca at mountpleasantchamber.org with any ideas that you may have. We thank you very much for being here today. That is it for my opening remarks. We are looking forward to Charleston Southern University President Dr. Costin and his content coming up in just a few moments. We're going to run through the committees and hear from our president-elect, Mr. Eddie Phipps. But first, I'd like to hand it off to the lovely and talented Lauren Sims from the town of Mount Pleasant. Hey, Lauren, it's always great to see you.
Hi, Shane. Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. Just a couple updates from our town council meeting from this past Tuesday. First and foremost, we have finally passed our comprehensive plan. That's our 10-year planning document and guide for the community. A massive project, and there's been so much input from the community, our comprehensive planning forum, and town council has worked extraordinarily hard on it, and our staff members as well. So very happy to have that finally approved. Next, we will move forward with the necessary ordinance changes and working on some of the special area management plans that are called out for within the comprehensive plan. The next is a piece that some may find very exciting, which is that town council voted to move forward with the Christmas parade as it has always been. We do have to go to the state for approval, so staff is preparing the application to send that off to receive approval for the parade. So stay tuned for more information on that. Next, council voted to name the Shim Creek Boardwalk after the Magwood family, so it will be officially the Magwood Family Boardwalk moving forward. And lastly, they voted to create a capital fund to house donations for a maritime heritage center here at the town of Mount Pleasant to recognize and honor our very maritime history here in the town of Mount Pleasant. Just a bit of interesting information. So we collect information at the end of every month about the number of new business licenses in the town. Something we are obviously paying close attention to is the number of new business licenses year over year. This year as a result of the COVID-19. And interestingly enough, we just had the first couple of months of the fiscal year. July's numbers were actually higher than prior years. And August was a bit lower, but not drastically so. And so I think that's great news for us as a community, and hope to continue to see those numbers continue to increase. I know we have several ribbon cuttings coming up in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for information about those, and hope you'll welcome our new businesses to the town of Mount Pleasant. Lastly, we were very happy to partner with the Chamber yesterday and host a Doing Business with the Town virtual luncheon. The slides and the recording to that presentation should be sent out to you shortly. And if there's any questions or you need additional information from that presentation, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. That's all for me, Shane. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Always great to see you. Thanks for the time, and always enjoy spending time with you and the Honorable Will Haney on Mondays with the Mayor, which, by the way, folks that are watching right now can view that recorded on our YouTube channel, and also can watch it live each Monday at 3:30. So, Lauren, thank you very much for the update. We appreciate the partnership with the town, and thank you for your time today. At this time, I'll bring on our President-elect, Mr. Eddie Phipps, to introduce our committees. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Shane. Thank you. Thank you for all of you who are attending out there in virtual world. I'm going to introduce Michael Cochran. He's going to give us an update on the expo. Michael, are you there?
Hey, Eddie, I sure am. Thank you so much, sir. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I just want to first say a big thank you to all that helped us pull off 10th Annual Business and Community Expo. We did it. We didn't cancel it. We didn't postpone it. We decided to move forward in a very innovative way. And special thanks to our sponsors, specifically Cruise Subaru of Charleston, who did an amazing job, stepped up immediately. And Ken French and those guys are fantastic. So I just want to say a big thank you to them and all of our sponsors that we've had that have helped put this together. As a brief recap, we had some pretty exciting things happen. And as you'll see on the slide, we had 29 booth registrants. So we had 29 booths represented in the virtual expo. As far as registered attendees, we had 292 folks sign up to attend the event. And we had over 100 people attend the event and go through all those 29 booths. A lot of data was captured. There were qualified leads that were captured, and that information has been disseminated to the booth registrants. So they have that so they can follow up and get some business rolling. We had $1,000 in prizes, and then others had door prizes. So Eddie, it was a fantastic event. We're very thankful for all the people that took the time and the effort to help put this together. I just want to say a special thanks to #1 Expo team. You guys stepped up to the plate, you rallied, and you used your time, your talent, and your expertise to help pull this off. A special thanks to Benjamin Toy with On Purpose Team Building. He did an amazing job orchestrating this and creating the platform. And then special thanks to the members themselves who said, yes, we will participate. And of course, the board who reviewed everything and made sure we were on track and helped us to pull this off. So number 10 is in the books, and we are focused on number 11, which hopefully in 2021 will be a combination of an in-person, live, and virtual event. We see the great value in that. So Eddie, thank you so much. I'm going to turn it back over to you, sir.
Michael, special thank you to you for really grabbing the bull by the horns there and leading that. That was a different venture for us to go through. And you're right, number 10's in the books. Let's look forward to number 11. I'd also like to thank the expo sponsors. Special thank you to Benjamin, Jammin, Toy, and On Purpose. They've done a wonderful job. We really appreciate it. So thanks again, Michael. That was a really good job, and really appreciate you taking the lead on that. If you would now, please give a warm welcome to, we are now going to introduce, where are we at? Sorry.
Hey, Eddie, it's Sarah Wiggins. How are you? Can you hear me?
Sorry. Thank you for that save. I was just drawing a horrible blank. Is Ben Knight is Ben gonna join us?
Well, he
Absolutely.
is. I want to.
Absolutely, but I'm going to give the screen to Sarah first because she's much nicer to see than me. So I'm going back in the dark phase.
Thank you. I apologize for the delay there. Sarah, please give us a membership update, and Ben, I know you will follow it up and close it out with a strong presence. Thanks.
Well, I'm excited to introduce, we have 5 new members, and I'm also going to talk about our spotlights today. I'd like to start with Erin Bua with Carolina One. Erin Bua is an educator turned realtor who has lived in the Charleston area for over 30 years. Her goal as a listing agent is to find the right buyer for your home. And as a buyer's agent, she will help you find the home that is perfect for you. Next, we have Marcy Anderson with Highgarden Real Estate. Whether you are looking for a home with a circular driveway, separate guest house, or a lanai with an outdoor kitchen, their website makes it easy to find. Highgarden Real Estate is committed to providing an exceptional experience to those buying or selling fine real estate. Then there's Hyatt House. Tucked within a charming neighborhood in Mount Pleasant, Hyatt House Hotel provides a quiet retreat from a busy day, exploring the rich culture and history of the area. Located near the Charleston International Airport, you are minutes from building sandcastles on South Carolina's best beaches or teeing off at one of our nearby champion golf courses. Next, we have Point Hope Dental Care. At Point Hope Dental Care, their #1 goal is to provide the people of Charleston, South Carolina, with comprehensive, affordable dental care. Their team of technicians, hygienists, and dentists will work with you to develop a treatment plan custom tailored to your unique needs. Lastly, Robin Scarella, PR and Special Events. Robin's experience includes connecting not-for-profits with local businesses to enhance both developing relationships with the local business community and creating events to bring new clients to any business. She has worked with retail stores, inns, restaurants, well-known authors, doctors, and celebrity golfers, and can work with a variety of cultures, ages, and backgrounds. Next, we have our spotlights. Our member spotlight is Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct has one of the nation's largest selections of fine jewelry and diamonds at the lowest prices guaranteed anywhere in the United States. While traditional jewelers buy diamonds through wholesalers and brokers, Diamonds Direct operates from inside the World Diamond Exchange in Tel Aviv, Israel. By cutting out all middlemen and maintaining involvement in the entire diamond process, Diamonds Direct can provide tremendous value to the end customer. And then our nonprofit spotlight is Trident Area Agency on Aging. Did you know that November is National Family Caregivers Month? Trident Area Agency on Aging knows how stressful it can be being a daily caregiver to your loved one. The Family Caregiver Support Program provides information about services, access to services, counseling, respite care, and supplemental services. If you are a family caregiver or know a family caregiver that needs a short-term break from daily caregiving, we may be able to help. So you can visit tridentaa.org for more information. That's it for me. Ben, can you give us a Race to 500 update maybe?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'd like to join you and welcome. And we're racing. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the photo on the screen. That's none other than the dashing Eddie Legal Eagle Phipps, who will soon be driving the pace car in the Mount Pleasant Chamber Race to 500. Track conditions are continuing to improve, and we're well on our way to 500 members. Remember, race fans, The members who bring in the most new members from March through the end of November are eligible for a $50 gift card. New members are also eligible for $50 gift cards. Let's get racing. Legal Eagle, back to you.
Ben. Oh man, did y'all record me driving here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Put yourself off the speeding tickets, Eddie?
I have a few times, yes. I tend not to speed. I drive the speed limit. I obey all the traffic laws.
Perfect, perfect.
Except when I'm on the racetrack, because we're racing to 500.
Right.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sarah. That was a wonderful update. Welcome to all the new members. We really, really appreciate everything that you're doing, Ben. Same with you, Sarah. There will be no delay in the next introduction. Who needs no introduction, but we'll give her one anyhow. Rebecca, are you there?
I am.
Virtual world, if you would please welcome Rebecca M. Holtz. She is going to give us a strategic partnership update. And I just want to mention that I think my background is a little bit better than yours.
Yes, no arguments, except I have the chamber logo behind me, but yes, I do love your background. Hope you're enjoying it.
I am, thank you.
So strategic partnerships, we are going strong. Every Monday with the mayor has been a very popular webinar. It's a chance for our members to ask Mayor Haney questions and get up-to-date information from the town of Mount Pleasant. We appreciate Mayor Haney's commitment to that, along with Lauren Sims, who you've heard from earlier today, our Community and Government Affairs Chief for the town of Mount Pleasant. The pivot is still going strong on Tuesdays. We have changed the time, though. We have decided to make it at noon on Tuesdays. John Carroll, thank you for moderating that weekly event. The Pivot, Living and Working During COVID-19. This past month, we heard from Cruise Subaru and how they have pivoted as a car dealership during COVID-19. On Purpose Adventures talked about how they have pivoted from doing in-person team building to virtual team building. Benjamin Toy's the owner of that, and he led the effort on making our expo virtual. By the way, they do have a really cool team building exercise that involves being together that is safe. It's kayaking. So I think that sounds like a lot of fun, a kayaking team building experience. We also heard from Daniel Point Retirement Community and Home Care Assistance, how they are keeping their seniors safe where they live. Daniel Point Retirement Community, beautiful independent living facility on Daniel Island, and Home Care Assistance is a non-medical home care agency. Everything that they're doing to keep their seniors safe and continue taking care of their employees as well. And then this week, we heard from the general manager of Mount Pleasant Waterworks, Clay Duffy, everything they have done for us to continue to have safe drinking water, obviously very, very important. I enjoyed learning about their Roundup program, whereby you can take your monthly water bill, round it to the highest dollar for that month, and the extra money, the change essentially, goes to help folks who need some financial assistance with their water bills. So check out the Roundup program. Just go to the Mount Pleasant Waterworks site. Doing business with the town of Mount Pleasant, Lauren Sims talked about that. That was yesterday. It was a incredibly informative 30 minutes. The town, I can't thank Lauren enough and her team, they talked about business licensing, considerations for current and new businesses, how to become a vendor with the town, how you bid on projects, as well as the impact of COVID-19 on the annual budget. That very informative program is also recorded. It's going to be available. We're going to send it out to our members via email, and we're also going to put it on our website. So thank you again, Lauren Sims and the town of Mount Pleasant, for putting that very informative webinar together. It came as a result of us asking you, the members, what you needed some information about. All right. I also had the pleasure as your Director of Development to talk with the Seacoast Senior Ministry last week. It was virtual. They asked some great questions. It was really fun to talk about the Chamber of Commerce and how we have pivoted during COVID-19. They were very interested, and it was a really fun time. So thank you to Seacoast Senior Ministry for allowing me to speak on behalf of the Chamber last week. And as Shay mentioned early in the talks, we have an in-person event finally coming up October 27th. Our Before 9 coffee time is going to be at the Spring Hill Suites Marriott. Thank you to Jennifer Maxwell and Rains Hospitality for making that happen. That's all I have, Eddie. Thank you so much for this time.
Thank you, Rebecca. Fantastic update on all the strategic things that are going on with the water department. Thank you for all your hard work. We obviously couldn't do a lot of things without you. Next, I'm going to introduce the committee chair for the marketing committee. This is actually not that any committee is better than another, but really one of my favorite committees because I can cheat and get some free advice from Mr. Compton. Are you there?
Oh, you're choosing us as favorites? That's so, I love that. Thanks.
No one over than the next. But, since I got you on there, you know, I asked you number one. We're trying to get free information here. I'm taking notes while I'm at it here. You said consistency. Sure. Consistency was the number one element in a successful marketing ploy, I guess. Or strategic process. What would be number two? What would be the next thing that I would look for after I got some sort of consistency, or what would mirror with that? What would complement the consistency?
Authenticity.
Man, you're quick.
Well,
authenticity.
I figured you might ask me again. I wasn't sure, and I was going to send you a little note saying, "Hey, give me a heads up next time before you."
No. I like getting you on the spot.
All right, bring it on.
But you're good. You're quick. I like it. It's all yours.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you. Eddie. There's another guy named Gary Vanderchuck. Guy's fantastic. If you don't follow him, do it. Gary V. Awesome messaging from this guy. You should follow him if you don't already. Anyways, speaking of awesome messaging, we've got the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce Marketing Committee update. Thank you, Rebecca, for the first slide here. As you can see, we're going up, raising the numbers. We were blessed. I was blessed with a really robust Twitter. It came with the job. So Twitter is always fantastic, but to really see these numbers in Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn is awesome. And that's just, it's going to help us race, to get that 500 mark. Please do share all of our posts. I can't beg you enough to like, share, engage, comment, show value, find value from our posts, I hope. What's next there, Rebecca? Yeah, the expo. I mean, this is stats here from September, and the expo really, our engagement, Michael, your media presence was amazing. Live 5 ended up becoming like a top 5 resource for us as far as getting people to the website. So your little media tour was awesome. And social media, with Amanda Button-Coleman over there at ABC Social Media. She's been doing a fantastic job as well. I got to thank Bruce Fensky as well from Brand Focus Consulting. We've got a pretty good, robust team with Kim over there at Net Galaxy as well on our marketing team. And we're growing. Our committee is growing. So if you ever want to be a part of something bigger and a part of this machine that we have here, I'll take it. Reach out. We'll talk about it. That's about it for me, guys. Anything I missed?
I think that's strong, Mike. Appreciate that update. The social media is obviously the virtual world and social media. I got to ask, did y'all touch up my picture on the last 500 advert?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Some touch ups because it looked better than what I sent it. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything
No
you
problem.
do.
Thank
Thank
you
you
guys.
for everything the marketing committee does.
Our pleasure.
I would like to introduce now Chris Stobbs, who's talking to our neighbors and trying to educate people in the chamber. Give him a little bit of downtime so he can prepare and he can fix his hair.
Yep.
Looking good.
All right, let's see.
Everything.
We turn this around. I turn this thing on.
Chris, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Let's see. Start the video. There we go. Is the video turned on? There it is. Unmute.
All right, great. All right, I am here joining you
from
beautiful Shim Creek. We've got a few of us who decided to get here in person while we're eating our lunch. I'll take off my glasses, sitting here with your president-elect, Eddie Phipps, and Jennifer Maxwell, who's your vice president-elect, which will be president in 2 years. So I get the honor today. So this morning, actually, let me back up a second. This morning, I was heading up the Coastal Carolina Council of Boy Scouts of America doing our board meeting. And one of the things that came up, we got our 100th anniversary next year. And one of the things that came up was, well, where are we going to host our event, have some camping? And we threw out ideas. And one of the ideas that came up was Charleston Southern. And they were telling me about this fellow who's a 3-star general who's running the school and that we ought to reach out to him. And I said, wait a second, I'm supposed to be introducing this guy pretty soon. So I might be talking to him later on. So I get the honor today to introduce to you Dr. Costin, who's the president of Charleston Southern University. And I've got a little bio here that I'd like to let you guys know a little bit about him. He has a track record of key leadership positions in the U.S. Air Force, and he reached the very, very high rank of Major General in his 32 years of commissioned service. He's the 3rd president of Charleston Southern University, started in 2018. Before that, he was with the Pentagon as Air Force Chief of Chaplains, where he served as a senior pastor for more than 664,000 active duty Guard, Reserve, and civilian forces serving U.S. and overseas, and led 2,000 chaplains. I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. Native of Wilmington, North Carolina. So he's used to the coast and the unique challenges we have being here in Hurricane Alley. He's graduate of the United States Air Force Academy, graduated in 1986, decorated combat veteran, deployed numerous contingency and humanitarian relief operations across the globe. Served as senior chaplain for Air Force operations, both Pacific and Middle East. He's got military decorations, including the Distinguished Service Medal, the Legion of Merit, and Bronze Star. So in addition to, obviously, since he's a chaplain, he's got his Doctor of Ministry. He also holds 5 master's degrees, PhD in organizational leadership, and he is he also has taught courses in leadership, management, political science, military history as an assistant professor of aerospace at Texas Christian University. So let's give a warm Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce welcome to Dr. Costin. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Chris. I greatly appreciate that introduction, and what I most appreciate is what's behind you. So you have an excellent choice in places to have lunch, and so thanks again, and thanks to all of you for inviting me today. I so appreciate the opportunity to be with you. And what I'll do is I'll talk for a few minutes and then be happy to answer any questions that you may have. It's already been mentioned today that really all of us have had to do this pivot this year. And, I remember back when I didn't have to wear glasses while driving, that I used to be 20/20. And so 5 or 10 years ago, when we were all doing strategic planning, we had this, brilliant idea that we would look forward to 2020. I suspect some of you came up with the not so creative title of your strategic plans back in the day that had something to do with Vision 2020. But I don't know about you, but I've had just about enough of 2020 this year. It wasn't anything that I had planned for it to be. And the only place I want to see 2020 is in my rear view mirror, and Lord willing, that will be soon. We had a banner day yesterday, because for the first time, really since we started classes on campus, we had 0 students in isolation from COVID-19 on campus and 0 students in quarantine. And so this year has been a doozy, as all of you know. You know, the year itself, there's been an impeachment, there's been a pandemic, which continues, there's been this recession, there's been social unrest, and then now there's this, this very contentious election that is upon us. For us, 2020, like most of you, I suspect all of you, in about the middle of March, we found ourselves really almost overnight having to make the pivot from almost all residential instruction face-to-face to basically all remote instruction. And so one of the things that you may not know about Charleston Southern is that Charleston Southern is ranked number 11 in the country by U.S. News and World Report with respect to online bachelor's degree programs. And they don't judge it based on quantity, they judge it based on the quality of education. And so you heard me right. Your Charleston Southern University at the north side of town is ranked number 11 in the country. And so we're very used to the idea of doing online instruction, but not every professor is used to doing online instruction. We have a select number of ours who are really, really good at it. Some do it here and there, but most people, their focus is face-to-face instruction. That's why they are called to a place like Charleston Southern, where we on purpose have small class sizes and low faculty to student ratio. We do that on purpose so that students can have that kind of interaction with students. And so it certainly came as a big shock to all of us when in the middle of March we had to make this transition to remote education. It went fine. Everything happened. Every student who wanted to get credit for the class, if they did the work and finished it, they certainly did so. And so all students made academic progress toward their degrees. But I don't know about you, but when the thing first happened, my assumption was that this was going to be a 2 or 3 week deal. I had all of us sort of had it in our minds that after maybe the middle of April, we'd be back. We'd finish the last 2 or 3 weeks on campus as planned. We'd have a large and not socially distanced or mask wearing commencement ceremony, but of course none of that happened, which meant that from about the first part of May, I asked our staff to look at two things. The first was, can we safely and effectively reopen the campus at that point for full-time instruction, residential instruction as need be in August? And more importantly, not only can we open the campus, but number two, the most important part, can we keep it open? And so that's why yesterday is such a banner day for us, because we've demonstrated now 2 days in a row we have 0 cases of students in isolation or quarantine on campus. And so our mantra, our theme from mid-March really until today, we sort of adopted the theme of March Madness. As you will recall, I'm from North Carolina, and we North Carolinians, football season really only has one purpose. It's kind of a placeholder to basketball. And so I look forward to March Madness all year long. And right in the beginning of March Madness is when all basketball ceased and when every campus in the country went to remote education. So I sort of adopted and asked our team to adopt the March Madness theme, and that is survive and advance. And as you know, in March Madness, the idea is you win today so you can play again tomorrow. And so what we did as a team is that we need to focus on the things that we do well, the things that we know we need to do to best serve our students, both to finish the spring semester, but also to look at more broadly, how can we bring our students and faculty and staff safely and effectively back to campus in August. And so we launched this 40-person University Pandemic Task Force. And yes, that's the official name of this exalted organization led by our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Jackie Fish, who is a nationally recognized instructor for disaster preparedness and emergency management. And as all of you will know about Charleston Southern, we have a strong focus in the healthcare professions. And so we have a College of Nursing, we have physician assistant studies, we have a Doctor of Physical Therapy program that will receive our first students. 48 students will show up here, Lord willing, in May, just 2 years from now, May of 2022. And so this group of people with housing, our housing folks and our physical plant guys and logisticians and supply people, we had to do things that we had never had to do before. So ask questions such as, how many face masks do you need to do this well? How many students can fit inside of a class and it be socially distanced? How many of our faculty are going to need to teach remotely so that, because they have underlying health conditions? What about our students who expect that they're going to be coming in residence, but many of them also have underlying health conditions? So how do we do all of this in a way that makes sense? And I described it, again, military background here. I described it, the whole thing with our focus on August 19th. I described it a bit like planning for D-Day, which is how we approached it. And so this team got together often over the summer and still meets. I meet with them twice a week, even now, just talking about how we can do this safely. And so once we decided that D-Day was going to happen, we went all in. And so I want to thank the Chambers of Commerce, plural, in our region, because originally the CRDA and the Chambers of Commerce had a program that they called Reignite. I think somewhere along the way the name changed, but the idea was that we're going to get the economy restarted. We're going to get the businesses back in action. We're going to do it safely and soundly, and we're going to do it well. And so we jumped on that bandwagon very early on, and our board was all on board for that, because we do consider ourselves to be a key part of the economy. And so I want to thank all of you for that kind of leadership. It certainly made it easier for us to have those conversations with parents and vendors and prospective students and returning students, all of whom had questions about the virus. And as all of you know, the medical advice changed along the way. And not surprisingly, I guess, in a pandemic, and continues to change to this day. And I'll talk about that here in just a couple minutes as I close. But along the way, as we opened the campus, we were dreading the worst about our enrollment, and so we intentionally budgeted way under what we normally would budget based on enrollment. But as it turns out, our enrollment was about what it had been, and come to find out, thank the Lord. High school students didn't want to think about staying in their high school bedroom with their moms and dads over their shoulder. Man, they wanted to come to campus. And so we let them come, and we do so with face masks, social distancing, all of that. We have plenty of plexiglass in front of lecturers, you name it, we have it. We limited the size of those who could sit down in the dining hall. We rented this huge tent, circus tent for the lawn of the campus, and we put lots of tables underneath it so there could be sort of outdoor dining to create that kind of sense of community without lots of, also with infection control. And so that sort of has been our story these days. And so we also shortened our semester. We started a few days earlier than we had anticipated. And we did that, canceled all the holidays in between. We did that so that we could finish the day before Thanksgiving. And so every student will be done with every project, every test, every final the day before Thanksgiving. And then we're going to give them a long break until January 11th. So along the way, again, with the theme of Survive and Advance, we have done a number of things. Thanks to a very generous gift by Chaplain Rob Dewey, who many of you will know. We launched the Dewey Center for Chaplaincy, and we hired the Air Force Deputy Chief of Chaplains, who was retiring at the time that we needed a person to fill the position. So we feel blessed by God that has happened. And he hit the ground running, as you would expect an Air Force Brigadier General to do. Looking so forward to us equipping chaplains to serve the Low Country in all kinds of ways. Look forward to talking about that sometime at another time. We started the state's first and only collegiate aeronautics program. And so that began in the middle of the pandemic because, again, survive and advance. And so CJ Will, retired as an Air Force colonel this past summer, started with us on the 1st of July. And so beginning next fall, we will begin flight operations, it looks like, out of Summerville Airport. And a student can come study in a distinctively Christian university, small class sizes, where we're interested in credentials and character and calling, but also preparing them for a career. And we did so because of the large pilot shortage, not just in the US, but also around the world. And so again, I wouldn't recommend that you start a brand new program like aeronautics or aviation in the middle of a pandemic, but it was time. Charleston is an aviation town. I was excited to see that very recently when Boeing has decided to centralize all 787 manufacturing operations right here. You know that Joint Base Charleston, again, I have an affinity obviously for aviation. I'm not a pilot, but I love pilots for aviation. And so we're focused on how can we serve not just the low country, but also the state, the region, the country, and the world. And that's one way that we can do it. This fall marks the first semester of our full 4-year engineering program. We're beginning with electrical engineering and computer engineering. Not long after, we'll follow mechanical engineering. And I'm pushing, I was an industrial engineer before I became a chaplain, so I'm pushing that we also do industrial or perhaps systems engineering along the way, again, so that we can meet the needs of the low country and beyond. We're building a brand new engineering and science facility that is ongoing. We did just to preserve some cash, we did curtail some of that for now. And on the other side of the pandemic, you know, we'll redesign the redesign to make sure we can build the full facility. You may have heard recently, just last month, that and this may be hard for you to believe, but in the whole United States, there are only 14 universities accredited by the premier engineering and technology accrediting agency called ABET, A-B-E-T. ABET has accredited only 14 cybersecurity bachelor's degree programs in the country. On that list is my alma mater, the Air Force Academy. On that list is the U.S. Naval Academy. And as of last month, on that list of 14, the only university in the South on that list is Charleston Southern University. So again, what we've done, as we've always done, is we've not sat on our hands, we've not sucked our thumbs. We've asked God, give us vision, give us resources, give us partners, and let us march forward and move forward so we can meet the needs of the community. As I mentioned earlier, we have a physician assistant program. We have a doctor of physical therapy program. We also are in the 3rd year now, the last year of our first cohort of Doctor of Education and Leadership program. It is on purpose. It's a face-to-face program. Some classes are now virtual for obvious reasons, but it's a face-to-face program. It's not online, on purpose. Each cohort in leadership is made up of about 2/3 of the students are educators locally, and 1/3 are business leaders or aspiring business leaders. And we do that on purpose so that in the cohort, as they talk about leadership, these aren't just theoretical concepts or discussions. They talk about things that we discuss tonight and we do tomorrow. And so we're looking forward. We thought in the first 2 years we'd have 2 cohorts of about 23 each. Instead of having the 46 that we thought we'd have, we have 105 students studying here at Charleston Southern, our first doctoral program, with Doctor of Physical Therapy being our second. I'm going to stop now, but I want to. You see that I think I've shared the screen. I want to just give you as my parting shot here before questions. I just wanted to talk just for a second about what I talked to the faculty about at the very beginning of the semester. And what I said to them is that getting back together after a pandemic is going to be challenging in all the ways we already know, but it's also going to be emotionally challenging. It's going to be relationally challenging. And I don't know about you, but I know that many of our faculty and our students, they're exhausted. They're tired of wearing masks. They want things to return back to normal. And so as we started the semester, I asked our faculty to consider some perspectives on the pandemic that I'll close with just these couple of slides. And what I point out here quite simply is that all of us are on three different spectra here. The first of these is faith and fear. And some of the people that I work with, and frankly, some days I'm a faith person and some days I'm a fear person. And so some of us by nature are people who say, oh, I don't care about the virus. God's going to protect me and I'm going to have the faith to see this thing through. And so I just pointed out to the faculty, there'll be many of you who are faith people. I'm with you. I'm an optimist. I'm right with you. But if you go past the point of faith to presumption, then we have a problem. Other people are going to be people of fear who just by nature, they're naturally scared. And so some of them approach the virus with a sense of a spirit of fear. Which is okay to an extent, but if you go past fear to paralysis, then we're going to have a problem. And so we are on this spectrum. Every person in your organization is in two. It is as well. The other spectrum that intersects with that one is this idea of freedom and safety. And so some people approach the virus with a sense of safety. These are the people who they were wearing masks long before anybody else was. They may be hiding under their bed at home. They may never go out to the grocery store. They may be to a point where they really are just waiting for a vaccine and won't see the light of day. And so some of our faculty and staff and students are there. That's just, and some of them are for very good reasons because they themselves have underlying health conditions or people they live with do. Other people are all about freedom. And I have heard from these students, I've heard from some faculty, I still do to this day, and I've heard from parents. And some parents will say to me in so many words, why are you limiting the freedom of our students? Why don't you just rip the mask off and let bygones be bygones? And I say to these parents, I say, brother and sister, I'm with you, man. I can't wait for that day. And I say to them, it must be nice that you only have to be concerned about your son or your daughter. I wish I had that role, but I have to be concerned about 3,500 students, plus about 600 faculty and staff, plus all their parents. My point is, we are going to be, and the people that you work with are going to be in one of these quadrants. Freedom and safety is going to help define part of it, intersected by faith and fear. And the last one, and so just imagine this now becoming a three-dimensional deal. Imagine this last one. And so I think about this organizationally. There are going to be some people on our team. There are some people on our team. Their first reaction is, man, how do we do the mission? How do we get the mission done? And man, I'm going to run to the sound of the guns. And if I get sick along the way, helping a student or helping a faculty member or colleague, I'm all in because we got a mission to do. Other people are like, whoa, hold on just a second here. We got to be concerned about our people. The mission is going to be here, for generations, but the people, I need to concern myself with the people. And so some of them are those who have said, no, we don't want students in our classes. We don't want to come to class ourselves. And so these are the challenges that we have faced. And I suspect churches have faced the same challenges. And I bet I would be willing to, I'm not a betting man, but if I were, I'd be willing to bet that some of your employees and some of maybe your family members and perhaps some of your customers are somewhere on this three-dimensional intersection of these spectra. My point to the faculty was that we have to be understanding of other people because, I may be a person of freedom, faith, and mission, but I'm going to be working with somebody I love who is a person of fear, safety, and people. And we're not going to agree all the time about how we ought to proceed to get the mission done that is safe and effective for our students. So I could go on, but I just wanted to end on that. And at this point, I'll be more than happy to answer any question you have about anything.
Well, Dr. Costin, thank you very much for your time today, sir. And thank you for the content. We really do appreciate it. There are a couple of questions. One is from Marcy, who's watching live. I'm with Wando's AFJROTC program. How can we connect our students with CSU?
Easy, easy, easy. If you will send me, the contact information for the best point of contact on your end, I will personally make sure that our commander of our ROTC program connects in that way. And our aeronautics professor will be doing a lot of JROTC connections as well. He would be a great person to have speak to your JROTC unit. And he can talk, he was a retired fighter pilot, and so you can talk about Air Force careers, he can talk about flying, he can talk about all of that, but my hunch is that some of those in JROTC will want to be pilots, and Charleston Southern is going to be the best place for them. And so you send me the information or get Shane too, and then I'll make it happen easy. Thanks for the question.
Excellent, thank you. I know for us as a chamber, we're looking at doing things differently once this is over and once we move into 2021. You know, we're talking about having a virtual element to our expo. We have an in-person expo that this year we did virtually. So my question to you is, much like us, what is the university looking to continue that was implemented during COVID-19?
Yeah, you know, one of the slides I put before the faculty that I didn't include here, it was an extension of the people and mission spectrum here, and what I put on the slide on that spectrum, in the place of mission, I put work on campus. In the place of people, I put work from home. And so, you know, all of us were thinking ahead of time because of traffic issues and all the other things about, even before the pandemic, we were beginning to think about how can we best, work from home, maybe some teleworking, maybe getting the job done that way to free up some of the congestion on the traffic, in the traffic. The challenge that I have seen, again, just between us, that I've seen is that some of our colleagues have gotten used to working from home. That they've gotten used to being in their shorts all day and walking their dog and, getting a Pop-Tart from their own pantry and drinking whatever they want. And so for some people, it's been hard to remind them that, you may think that you are as productive at home, because that's the leading line. I'm as productive at home. And so my response is, well, it depends. It depends on not what you think, it depends on what's best for the university. So all that to say this, we will definitely retain some of the virtual nature of what we've done. I'm thankful that we can do things like this from time to time, and it saves us all from having to make trips in the middle of the day. But some people are going to be upset with me at the end because they're going to want to work from home, and I'm going to say no. There are going to be others who we're going to get to say, yeah, man, you can do 2 or 3 days from home and it's going to be up to supervisors. And so that's going to be an interesting dynamic once we're back to normal, because it also generates some, that's not fair issues as well. But I suspect it'll look a whole lot different after the pandemic in very good ways than it did before the pandemic, I think, for the good of all of us and our students.
Excellent, thank you, sir. A couple of more questions, if I may. This is from Ben Knight. Ben is one of our board members, committee chair of the co-chair of the membership committee. Ben is asking, what is one takeaway from the initial virus and how Charleston Southern handled that would better prepare CSU if there was another round of COVID-19?
Yeah, we did a phenomenal job, and I say this as objectively as I can because all the praise really goes to the pandemic task force. We did a phenomenal job of building a plan based on all the information we had at the time. That said, the old military saying is, having been a military planner some myself, the old saying is, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. And so when D-Day happened, we began to see all kinds of seams in our plan. Something as simple as if you have a student who gets sick, they have to go into isolation, which means we take them from their room and put them into a room, and we say to them, for the next 10 days, you can't come out, and three times a day, we're going to bring you a a styrofoam container of food, and 10 days later, we'll come back and see how you're doing. Well, early on, we said, no, that can't work. And so we developed this team to serve students in that way, to deliver meals. And, frankly, what we've also done along the way is we have effectively had students talk to those who've been in quarantine and isolation and said to them, it's not a fun place to be. So A, don't get sick, and B, if you get sick, then please go home. Go home and let your mom take care of you, because she'll do a much better job for the 2 weeks that you need to do that. So we've learned a lot of things along the way about, for instance, we're having a conversation even now. How do you have large events for students that involve building community in a socially distanced atmosphere? And so the long and short of it is, come January, we'll be about 500% better prepared. Even though we had a phenomenal plan, we'll be about 500% better prepared for the next semester than we even were for this semester, which takes me to the sad reality that the spring is going to look a whole lot like the fall, I'm afraid. So, it just is what it is.
You have to take it one day at a time and power through. I know us as a chamber, we've had multiple board meetings over the course of the last few months, and the topic of conversation has been, when can we get back into person? When can we get back to networking and seeing each other face to face? And much like the university, we want to do that, but we also want to do it slowly. We want to do it safely. And we also want to have the appearance that we're doing it slowly and doing it safely.
That's
There's
right.
no reason to jump back in the deep end right away if we can just kind of wade into the shallow end and go from there. We have one more question from John Carroll. John, former past president of the organization, a current board member. John says, Dr. Costin, what in your experience and training has prepared you for this extraordinary time? You certainly did not sign up for this.
Yeah, exactly. And what I will say to begin with is, the thing that if there are blessings to this, and there are, our staff, our leadership team, and others bonded in ways that I don't think we would have bonded had this not happened. And so it's been an extraordinarily beneficial time for us to get together as a team. And again, my approach to leadership is surround yourself with really smart people smarter than you are, and let them do their jobs, and hold them accountable to them doing their jobs. Trust but verify. The very Reagan-esque statement. And so we were blessed to have the person at the head of the task force who is a disaster preparedness and emergency management expert. And so I said, thank you, Lord, for that. We also have a bunch of public health and other infection control specialists on our staff who could help us wade through all of the medical data that I don't know what you're talking about. And when I read the paper, or I read read the stuff online, I got very conflicting evidence. And so they kind of helped us wade through all of that, contextualize it to our place. And so again, I would just say that what I was prepared for is making sure that I had the right people sitting at the table, and then empowering them and energizing them to do their job. The other thing that I would say is that, that's been a blessing, is that unlike a hurricane, and so, we're used to, I hate to say this, I don't want to jinx it. I don't believe in jinxes, but on this moment I do. We made it. I've been here 2 Septembers, now 3. We didn't have a hurricane again. Thank you, Lord. And so I don't want to have one between now and the end of the season either. But we're used to hurricanes. And the thing about a hurricane is, you bring out the checklist, you do the things on the checklist. But if in a hurricane, you're the only one of your peers going through the hurricane. In this, every single university all around the country, all of us were in the same boat, and we all had deer in the headlight looks, you know, for a little bit. And as I said about our own team, I have gotten really close to, thank the Lord, to all the other presidents of the South Carolina Independent Colleges and Universities. And so whereas, yes, we're all competitors, I would rather have their students at my school, but that never came up. It was about, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing well? What problems have you seen? And we've all worked together. And so the thing that I bring away from this is the next time a pandemic comes, whatever the thing is, just know that there are other people in other situations, and don't think that you're going through this alone, because you can get help from people who are going to help you think through it. Those are the things I take away. And so what has felt like a curse has also been a blessing in a couple of ways as well.
Well, Dr. Costin, it has been a pleasure to have you as our featured speaker this month of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce Luncheon. Thank you so much for your time, for your content. Thank you, of course, sir, for your service to our country, and thanks for all that you do. And we hope to have you back real soon.
Pleasure. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Thank you, Dr. Costin. It was a pleasure to see you, sir. All right, we'll move on now to the prizes, and then we'll end on a motivational note. So I'll ask Rebecca to pull out the very expensive RNG, the random number generator, and we'll go through our prizes. Rebecca, you just let me know when you're ready for prize time. There we go. In that random number generator.
I am ready, Shane. So let me start the random number generator, and you can talk about the first prize.
Yeah, first prize is the 1 hour massage courtesy of Elements Massage. Who could not use a massage right now?
Yeah. We have Marcy Thrash won that. So congratulations, Marcy. Marcy's representing the Wando Junior ROTC program. So congratulations, Marcy.
Excellent. Nice job, Marcy. This is for a $50 gift card to Lowe's Home Improvement, and the winner is
Joan Walsh. And Joan is with Cashbox Coaching. Congratulations, Joan.
Excellent. Next prize is the 3 1/6 of a page 3x7 color ads from the Moultrie News.
That is Tammy Becker with Elements Massage. Congratulations, Tammy.
Next is a bottle of Candy Vodka from Candy Vodka and our president-elect, Mr. Eddie Phipps.
And we have a new member actually who won this, Robin Scarella. She has her own PR firm. Congratulations, Robin.
Excellent. I've spoken to Robin off and on for probably a year, maybe two, about joining the organization. So I was excited to hear that she did join, and we are grateful to have Robin. It's good to have her on board. We're excited about that.
Absolutely.
Next, Massage Envy, 1 hour massage or facial, courtesy of Massage Envy.
And the winner is Stephanie Cruz, and she is with Cohn Coaching. They're also relatively new members. So congratulations, Stephanie. You've got some new members winning prizes today.
Excellent. I actually had an opportunity to meet Stephanie, and she is a dynamic person that is off to a great start with that franchise, and she's going to do great things for not only the Mount Pleasant community, but also the community at large, because there is obviously a big need for after-school programs, math-centric. So be on the lookout for more of Stephanie with Cohn here in the organization. And our next prize is 3 rooms of carpet cleaned and sanitized, or $100 off any other service, courtesy of our friends over at Zero Res. I have used this product. It's a great product. It cleans the carpets. It does the job. So the winner is?
And just in time for the holidays, so I'm quite jealous. The winner is Andrew Fry with Office Evolution. So congratulations, Andrew.
Excellent. Congratulations. All right. Well, I will let everyone go after a short motivational piece. Again, thank you very much for taking the time today to sit in on our next to last virtual monthly luncheon. As I mentioned earlier, we will be back in person starting in 12 days. October 27th, we'll do it before 9. We're also going to have a happy hour on Veterans Day in November. And then we will have an in-person lunch. It's always been a goal to have an in-person lunch in December so that we can recognize our officers and committees, and we can also elect our new officers. So that will happen at the Omar in December. So more information on that to come as far as requirements and all that good stuff, but there will be a limited audience. So if you'd like to partake in the in-person events, you might want to go ahead and visit the website, mountpleasantchamber.org, to get signed up right away. The motivational piece today to wrap things up is from Edgar Guest, and it's called "It Couldn't Be Done." Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so until he tried. So he buckled right in with a trace of a grin on his face. If he worried, he hit it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it." But he took off his coat and he took off his hat, and the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quit it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you, one by one, the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle in with a grin. Just take off your coat and go to it. Just start in to sing as you tackle the thing that cannot be done, and you'll do it. That is Edgar Guest, "It Couldn't Be Done." Again, thank you very much for your time today. A thanks to Dr. Costin from the Charleston Southern University for his time and his content today. And as I always like to end every meeting, I actually now have two catchphrases. I'm going to borrow one from the mayor. The first one is, "Stay positive and test negative." And the next one is what I typically leave you each meeting with is, "Stay healthy, be safe, and keep moving forward." We'll see you in person in 12 days. Take care.